Hey Scorpio, thanks for dropping in with me. We are going to do your Pathfinder read where we are going to look at where you have been, what path you are leaving behind now, your view of the present path before you, and then the hidden path that's going to come into view for you. This lunar cycle that's being kicked off with the full moon in Aries, the supermoon that we got going down today. The Hunter's moon. It came in early this morning, just after 7 a.m. on the East Coast. That would be 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. I'm sorry, jumping timelines there. 4 a.m. on Pacific Standard Time for those of you on the West Coast in the States. And we are well into this energy now. So this is going to be energy that will be playing out until November 1st when we have the new moon going down in your sign, Scorpio. So this is a very important cycle for you. And we're going to see what is that hidden path that you're not aware of right now that might be in your blind spot that's going to come into view. It's the path that's being presented now that all lights are on in the room thanks to this full moon in Aries. And this full moon in Aries can give us a can-do spirit. It can inject us with a little enthusiasm, some motivation, some get up and go. It has its difficult aspects as well, but we'll navigate those in your read. We're also going to look at what magic you're going to need to carry you forward on that hidden path once it comes into view, as well as any wild card elements that may be in play. This is for any significant Scorpio placement, or if you happen to have a prominent placement in the 8th house. Also, if you're a Taurus rising, that makes you a Scorpio descendant. So let's just dive right into it and see what comes in here. First, we're looking at what is the path you are leaving behind, the path you're just stepping off of now, Scorpio. I am working with the Halloween Oracle and the Sacred Rebels Oracle combined for this portion of the read. Let's see what we got for you. She feels, she knows. So I do sense that there is something that you have just intuited here. It's like an awakening within. You know it's time to leave a particular path behind and head in a new direction. You have a feeling that there's beauty up ahead if you have the courage to take this risk and walk down this path, but I feel like you're not quite sure how that's manifesting yet. In other words, you just know the path is going to be there as soon as you step off this old road you've been on. 3:11 on the clock. I think there's going to be some helpful elements coming in that will help you make this alignment possible, okay, with the new path forward. Let's get some more details, okay? So something woke up in you on an intuitive level, and all of a sudden you saw something about the path you had been on that you weren't aware of before. I think it became evident, and then you started to recognize that maybe you were just sort of sticking to the old path out of a matter of pride. And you recognize that that really wasn't working for you, that there's more to life. I think you're ready for more beauty to come forward in your life. You might have been dealing with some harsh aspects that you're ready to leave behind here, Scorpio. So let's see, what is the path that Scorpio is stepping off of now? And that flew right out there. Oh, interesting. Collaborative dreaming. So do you notice there's two that are in reverse here and there's two that are upright? And I feel like you're magnetizing the right collaborator to you right now. There's somebody that you're meant to step into the new cycle with here that's getting kicked off with this full moon. And I do feel like you will come into contact with this person. I think this is something that you've really been feeling awaken within your heart, just an understanding that there's somebody energetically reaching out to you. 4:44 on the clock. I would definitely say that is so. And this could be a bit divinely orchestrated, like it's time for this connection to be activated. You don't necessarily have to have already met this person. This could be somebody that is about to cross your path, but I do feel it is a destined connection. You do sense each other, okay? Whether you have familiarity with this person or not, you sense each other. I feel like you're magnetizing this individual in your heart. You feel sort of like the blocks that have been in place there are starting to melt away. The resistance is melting away. And you're ready to move into another round of the spiral. You're ready for the wheel to turn. I don't think you were at one point. You were sort of stationary. You weren't ready to move forward, especially in matters of connection, opening up your heart space to another. Now, certainly you could look at that through the romantic lens, but I feel it goes deeper than that for you. I feel like you've been dealing with some betrayal in your life, and so you've had to really look at connections as a whole. This can be family connections, it can be connections within your friend group, okay? There's something here that has really got you looking at things differently, even in terms of your work. Like, what kind of people do I want to be working with? So I think it's been like an overarching theme for you, just really recognizing where you might not have been connected to the right people before. And so I feel like this is one thing that's really changing at this time. You're leaving behind those connections that did betray you, that didn't stay true to their word or didn't bring to the table what was promised, okay? And I feel like you sense somebody, and this person senses you too. They have a certain vision that is awakening right now. You're a part of this vision. So there's something you're going to be co-creating with this person. It's through the partnering of your energies. And in order for this to come to pass, there is sort of like an old dream that needs to be released. And I believe you're letting that path fall behind you now. We got 28 here, so I do feel like when you come together with this individual, it will be an activating point. You two manifest together. It's your energies combined create the alchemy. I also feel like that is, the 10 energy, which means in order for there to be this new beginning, there has to be the closing of the old cycle. So as of right now, all of this is something that you are intuiting quite strongly. Let me do a cut of the deck just to see any further details on this path that you are leaving behind. See what I'm saying? You've got the power of attraction here. Number 13. So there's something here that is powerfully magnetizing you. Again, I don't feel like it's physically here yet. It's something you're sensing. It's something you just know. And you know that you need to create the space for it to come in. And it's absolutely connected to you already on an energetic level. In the quantum field, this connection's already taken place, but I feel this is something that's awakening within you energetically. You sense this, that what I want is out there. It wants me too. And again, please expand it beyond the romantic lens, because certainly this could be part of it. But if you notice, they're building this light together. So this to me is really talking about this connection generating a lot of power, a lot of magnetism. And there's something about the connection that manifests something into being. And it looks like it's a vision that's starting to awaken in one of you now, okay? And this is something that I do believe is sort of encoded. You know what I mean? It's like spiritually encoded in you. Because I really feel like it's awakening in your heart center, which makes me feel there's a sense of purpose that's driving you. And maybe it's unnameable. You're not quite sure what is propelling you to go forward when nothing is really presenting itself quite yet materially on this level. It's just something you know, and it may seem a little irrational. I don't feel like this is something that you're talking to a lot of people about. It's sort of something quietly gestating within you. And on the other side here, we have Black Cat. Fortune meets opportunity. So I do see You're allowing the past to fall behind you as you're moving into this future. And I do feel there's some kind of fortuitous opportunity coming up here. You're going to cross paths with this individual, and it's like the launching point. I do think you have somebody from your past that is sort of watching you from the shadows as you move forward. They feel like this is a bit of bad luck for them. You know, they sort of feel like they're being left out or left behind. I definitely feel like even though you may think that they're not lingering, this individual is. They are kind of keeping an eye on you, seeing what you're up to. This could even be somebody just with this 13 energy here. Most people think of 13 as bad luck number, but it's actually a power number. And we see that emphasized here with the power of attraction. But with the black cat imagery here as well, I do feel like there's somebody here that maybe, you know, they hope to throw a spanner in this works. They don't want to see you advance. This could be somebody who may try to sort of like pull you back, hold you back. You do need to be aware of this element. It's somebody you're leaving behind that's not quite ready for this transition here. So pay attention to that. And if you do know any witchy characters, this certainly could be somebody that is apt to working on that level. It was 11:33 on the clock. Okay, so this could be somebody trying to weave a spell to keep you held firmly in place. But I think this power of attraction is really guiding you forward here, and you're not going to be held back. Okay, let's check it out and see, how are you viewing the path before you right now from your current perspective? So let's see how this story builds here. How is Scorpio viewing their present path ahead from their current vantage point? How is Scorpio viewing their path ahead from their current vantage point, Spirit? What are they seeing as the lay of the land currently, Spirit? How is Scorpio viewing their path ahead in this current moment, Spirit? Okay. I love it. And look, there's that spiral of creation again. You see, it's you. It's coming through your heart center there. And the nautilus shell is mirrored here again. So you already feel that this is in motion. Even though it's not here yet, you know that what you want wants you. This is like really feeling a deep intuitive soul calling where even though you don't see the path, you trust the path because what you're feeling is resonating so strongly in you. It's undeniable. You just know that you're going to be supported stepping forward here and that there is someone you are supposed to connect with. You feel it. You know there's someone you're supposed to connect with. This is one of those things that you can't make sense out of it. And this is definitely set in motion here. So interesting. You're very tapped into this. You're very aware that what you want wants you, and that something major is about to come into alignment for you. So this is like an awakening moment that's happening here. That's how you are feeling in this moment. You feel like your destiny is about to awaken, and you've already felt it. Like you felt this coming. So let's see what this is. How is Scorpio viewing their path presently as it's presenting itself to them in the now? I love it. Look at that. She feels, she knows. See? Yeah, your coordinates are really on lock with this. And again, number 22, this is a building block for your future. And you're well aware that your building block involves you teaming up with another. It's not just something you're doing solo. There's somebody you're supposed to connect with here. And you feel it coming in. You feel it coming in. I think at one point you might have tried to tamp down these feelings, this internal knowing, because you didn't want to sort of like jinx it. That's what I got. You didn't want to jinx it. You didn't want to be too prideful or too arrogant, like just so certain that yes, this special alignment's coming in for me. I know that something is meant for me or someone is meant for me. So you kind of tried to like sort of push it down a bit because you didn't want to come off like that. You didn't want to come off cocky. There were times in your life where you had come off cocky and then you learned a lesson. You didn't want to invite any challenges from spirit, let's say. But again, like there's when you know it, you know it. You know what you know when you know it. And it's something undeniable and it's just exemplifying itself again. So this is happening internally for you. You feel it. You don't see it yet. All right. You feel this. You feel this alignment coming in. Okay, let me do a cut of the deck and see what we got here for you. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going against the current here, but that's where all the creativity happens. You could potentially be dealing with a Leo in this situation, or this vision, this internal knowing could have first awakened within you sometime back during Leo season, tail end of July, August, okay? But I do feel like something is about to open up here for you. The road is about to open up here for you. And this vision, this feeling, this internal knowing is about to manifest. So this is the cycle of creativity already lining up, just like those salmon swim upstream to spawn. It's the same with your energy. You may be moving in such a way that some people don't really understand why you're heading in a particular direction. And that's because, like I said, I think this is something you're keeping very close to your heart. It's something that, if you tried to articulate it to others, they wouldn't get it. So it would just sort of fall on deaf ears anyway. And you can't explain the unexplainable. This is just an internal nudging from spirit that you need to get on this road because there's something about to come in for you. And as I said that, it was 17:22 on the clock. So this is big alignment energy coming in for you. And you're at the manifestation point here. Spirit's got their hands all over it. So just pay attention to all the synchronicities coming in because I feel like a lot is going to start showing up on your path. 17:44 on the clock, that this vision is coming into alignment. You're going to start seeing the signs of the beginning all around you. And it says here, in the world, not of the world. So do expect things to get a little mystical here, a little otherworldly here. You're going to have those experiences where, there's a little something extra operating in your life. There's a little divine intervention going on here. And I think this is like a really cool sort of energy to start to flow with because it's always so magical, right? When you have those confirmations showing up in the world around you, it's so affirming. And it also excites us, right? It like awakens that part of us that looks at possibilities instead of the challenges we're facing. So I do feel like there's this like new freedom coming in for you too. You're just like wide open and you're ready for this and you're trusting. I see like the heart is really ready to receive. So this looks very good. You're very much trusting your intuition at this time. You're trusting your feelings. You're letting that guide you. I love it. This is very positive energy here. Okay, let's see. What is the hidden path that you are not aware of that Spirit is going to be presenting to you with this full moon in Aries energy coming in here? Aries is the initiator and kicks off a whole brand new cycle. So this is kicking off that journey to the stone of destiny, that moment when we alchemize everything that we've been through in the past and we turn what's been weighing us down into the stuff of gold. So this is a refinement process that's underway here. I've been getting a lot of the energy coming in about this really being a full cycle that will unfold here as we move forward toward that stone of destiny. And by that, I mean a full trip around the sun. So do look for the magnitude of the harvest to come to be evident by next fall, 2025. After that, we will have had those nodes of destiny shift. And so I think you're going to find yourself landing in quite a different spot next fall than you are right now. But then again, you knew you would. You've been feeling it. You've been feeling it coming. Okay, so let's see. What is this? What is the hidden path about to be revealed to Scorpio in this lunar cycle that will culminate with their new moon on the 1st of November? Let's check this out. Let's see what we got. A change that's going to awaken the part of you that has the resilience to push forward despite some challenges, despite some obstacles that you may face along the way. I have to say, because it says defend to the end the worthwhile. But I do know that what you're aligning with is something that is worth it. It's worth taking a stand for. It's worth facing the challenges. It's worth the work ahead that you'll find on the road. I feel like you got a lot of strength behind you with that great horned owl medicine. So there's a lot of wisdom you're carrying forward here. There's a lot of strength. There's a lot of purpose. And you do have the ability to rise any challenge you'll find along the way. And I think there's a lot you've learned from the losses of the past, the pain of the past. And, you know, I think it's time for you to really reach for the bloom, right? You've held the thorns for long enough. It is time to reach for the bloom. It's like, what's the point of embracing the pain if you never get to experience the sweetness of the rose? So I do feel like you're not down for the count yet. Okay. So you've got a lot of resilience that you're carrying forward with you. You may have found that that's kind of par for the course with your path. You have a path that forces you to cultivate resilience, because not everybody can rise to the challenge to step into the kind of destiny that is up ahead for you, Scorpio. So let's see, what is this hidden path that is emerging for you now? We know it's something that you are going to defend to the end. Ooh, the way that came out. It's the other 10, the new beginning, and it was 22:44 on the clock. You have so much synchronicity already coming in for you here. 22 is definitely a power number for you. It keeps coming in, 22:55, right? There's major change that's being activated in your life, okay? She feels, she knows where you are presently in the world, not of the world. Your hidden path, this is what it is, crossing that energy. Dream a beautiful dream. This is the activation point. So this is when the dream becomes reality. And this is going to have a more far-reaching effect than you can even imagine right now. I do feel like this is something that has great reach to it, okay? 23:33 on the clock, yes. So if you do any kind of work online, or if you're in a process of building community, okay, there's something here that is going to have so much reach and a lot of impact. And there's like this lotus flower energy in the background. So remember, no mud, no lotus. It's not going to happen overnight. There's going to be challenges presented here, but it's because you have a big purpose you're stepping into. And you're not going to be in it alone. There's somebody that is going to be building this with you. I got a lot of networking energy, also making connections in different parts of the world. For some of you, that certainly could be online. For others of you, you may be doing a lot of traveling, okay? Connecting with people at a distance. And there's something about connecting with people at a distance that makes your world a whole lot smaller. A whole lot smaller. It brings something that once seemed out of reach closer at hand. It is the 10 energy. So this is the activation of the new beginning on the other side of leaving the old path behind. And it's an unfolding process, okay? It's an unfolding process, but I do see your north node lit here. So you definitely will be activating your destiny. You're rising on up, but it is a step-by-step process. It doesn't happen overnight. And there will be challenges along the way. But once you see the potential of what you're stepping into here, I don't think there's any turning back. You're going to be all in. Let's do a cut of the deck energy and see what we got here. Look at this. Absolutely. This is a brilliant idea that's being activated. It may feel like it's coming in at the 11th hour, just when you feel like you've exhausted all your options and you don't know how to affect some change in your life. All of a sudden the change occurs. The brilliant idea comes in, the connection comes in, and from there, all of it springs out from there. I do see that there's a lot of different connections you'll be making that bring things together in the perfect way. It's also the alchemical point here with the number 14. You could be working with a Sagittarius in this regard. I also feel it's speaking of the Sagittarian energy. Now, certainly today, not only do we have a full moon in Aries going on, but we also have Sagittarius hosting Venus now. So this is like going out of the ordinary in terms of relationships, heartfelt connections. This could be a soulmate energy coming in. This is also going beyond the usual. I do feel like you're moving into greater expansion here. Whatever this golden idea is, it has a long-lasting effect. It has a ripple effect. It's not a minor thing. This is big stuff here, okay? This is a big dream that's going to be activated. It's going to come in at the 11th hour when you least expect it, okay? This is when this is going to be activated for you. And it's not something done in the usual way. You're definitely moving out of the confines of how something's always been done. So there's some level of uniqueness in what's coming forward here. Okay, let's see what's on the other side of this split. Shock of the new. Yeah, this is your purpose being activated. There definitely could be some kind of creative slant here. You could be making some music with someone or getting into some kind of production, theater production. You could be doing anything in the creative field. You could be doing some kind of broadcasting here. This could be hitting the airwaves. This could be getting your message out there. It's definitely a dream manifest. It's a vision activated, and it has something to do with your purpose here. Shock of the new, okay? You're not expecting this. I do feel like this is something that comes in like a bolt out of the blue. And for some of you, this is absolutely like going viral, okay? Becoming very well known in your field. It's through some kind of partnership. It could even be you like cutting a deal, I have to say, you know, signing a contract. Maybe somebody wants to invest in you, invest in your vision. They see things the way you do. They got some ideas, some things they want to bring to the table too. I feel like it's like a dynamic duo energy here. And it does say new birth guarded vigilantly. Ah, look at that. Okay, so you're just about to get to the sweetness of the bloom, I see. And we got the butterfly energy there. So this is about stages of transformation. 29:11 on the clock, 11:11, okay? Big alignment coming in here. You could be connecting with an air sign. They are butterfly clan on the medicine wheel. So that would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's possible. It's also the butterfly effect. whatever's happening here, it has far-reaching effect. I do feel like it spreads news, it spreads a message, it puts something on the airwaves. There's like connecting points here, expanding community. All right, so this looks good. This looks really good. Okay, let's see what magics you're going to need to carry you forward. And for that part of the read, we're going to, ooh, hold up, wait a minute. No, we're not going to talk about that. Okay, we already know you might have some blocking energy coming your way. Some of you do have a evil wizard bent on, holding you back in your way. That did come in. I mean, it did come in the pre-shuffle. You might have somebody, that's trying to thwart this. And we just had a total dim out on this end. So I don't know if you saw that on your end there. I never know. Sometimes it translates into the feed when I air it, and sometimes it doesn't. But over here, it went completely like blacked out, right? Oh, and this could have something to do with news you're going to hear from a particular someone, a page of wands. That's quintessential Sagittarius energy. This may have something to do with moving forward here, moving forward into this expansion. It says gives answers concerning past, present, and future. So I do feel like somebody's coming in here to give you some details. They're coming in riding a bear. Bear is also associated with the sign of Virgo on the medicine wheel. Interesting. This could be a duo coming towards you, actually. It's possible. Maybe somebody has to kind of like create an end. So you might be getting an introduction to somebody coming in here. This could be the person you're supposed to partner with. We did have Sagittarian energy come in quite strongly here. But there's also something you need to be aware of here, because it says can make one invisible. All right, so somebody here is giving you answers. And we know whatever you're leaving in the past, you do have somebody you're leaving behind in the past that's a little bit problematic, okay? And they're still keeping an eye on you. Could it be this person trailing behind, maybe they're seeking some answers from you about where you're going, right? Maybe you have some questions for them about where they've been. Okay, this is just kind of like coming in this way. There might be another person attached to this individual that you're not aware of. It could be a Virgo that's coming in tow, because I do feel like there's a little bit of a hidden element there. There's like a partnering energy that's coming in here. But I do feel like somebody's coming in to explain something to you. So this does feel like maybe there's been a challenge with the person. There's been some kind of difficulty, or something's been a little bit confusing or ambiguous. This person's coming in to clarify, but you do need to be aware of the hidden element here. You also need to be aware of how somebody spins things to sort of make themselves look their best. I mean, isn't that what everybody does? Nobody wants to make themselves, come off at their worst, okay? So I do feel like they might tell you some things you want to know, but what about their part in situations? I don't know if they're going to give you the full truth. 33 on the clock. You might want to pay attention to that piece of the message when this comes in. It'll help you out. Okay, do be aware of hidden motives as well. Like, why now? Why are you giving me answers now? Where were the answers back then? Where was the communication? Where was the honesty back then? Okay, so there's something to be aware of here. Do be aware of the way people work their magic with their words and what they do divulge. It's almost like you need to pay attention to like the subtext, or read between the lines. What are the things that are being omitted here? What are they not willingly coughing up? What do you have to kind of pry out of them? Okay, so you do need to pay attention to this. Somebody knows how to sort of get through to you with their words. They know the right things to say that will have you letting down your guard. So you do need to be aware of this here. If that feels like it's the past influence that's coming around, that's maybe been keeping an eye on things. I just heard they want to protect their interests, okay? Okay, have you heard of this? Right, what do we see here? Yeah, Nine of Wands, okay? So you definitely should have a little bit of, you know, awareness around this individual. I'm not saying be defensive, but don't just sort of abandon what your experience has been with this character from the past up to this point here. Also, this person, you know, they can keep it together, but if you ask a question and they start to get a little heated, you know, you're onto something there. But this person does feel like they have a place in your life. They feel like they've been loyal to you, and they feel like in some way they've been, you know, standing up for you, that they've had your back. And so they sort of feel like you should be returning the favor is what I got here. And they insist that they will answer all of your questions, but they got a few of their own for you too, I see, okay? They just want to know, what do you want me to do? Like, what are you needing in this situation? Because they feel like there's a lot that you haven't communicated to them as well. So I think both of you need to air something out here, right? But do be aware of what's not being revealed. And there's something here about asking the right questions and paying attention to what's not willingly sort of opened up in the conversation here. Okay, but it looks like this person could be a good person to have in your corner. So there might be a possibility to, you know, transform this situation if you can sort of read through, you know, the bits of the conversation that are a bit cloaked, I have to say. Okay, so be aware of this. This looks a little bit of like a negotiation, I have to say. There's something you're negotiating with this character here. Right? What magics does Scorpio need to take with them on the way forward once this hidden path presents itself? Right? We do have this energy coming out in reverse, and it's the Two of Swords. Yeah, so see, I think that you're automatically sort of prone to be defensive to this person's advance, whoever they are, like however things left off. It doesn't feel like it was on the best terms, or there was something that was very confusing or just unclear about the situation that has your hackles up. You could be prone to like sort of attack first and then like, you know, figure out what really went down later. Don't do that. Okay, refrain from doing that. You're sort of coming forward in a way where you really like you're ready for a fight, but I don't feel like that's what this person wants to do. They don't want to fight you, okay? They want to support you, maybe in writing something that's been wronged, okay? They have certain insight they can share with you. And I do feel like, you know, you've had blocks in place with this person, or you've been closed off to this individual on some level. But to be closed off to this now would be like injuring yourself, I see, okay? So don't do that. And before you fire something off, you know, before you get a chance to really get a lay of the land and understand what's being presented here, just hold your tongue a little bit, all right? Be careful in going into this conversation, because I do have a feeling that both of you can get a little bit heated, but it's one of those things where it's like your bark can be worse than your bite. You know what I'm saying? You don't really want to injure this connection. So I do think you should hear this person out. Be aware, but don't be so guarded that you're automatically on the defense, because once you do that, everything will kind of go downhill. And I do feel like you could really sabotage yourself, right? So just hear them out, because you're not meant to have blocks in this situation. I think where things have not been clear, they're about to become very clear. I also feel like the magic that you need to take forward with you is Fragorock. You need to bring forward that sword of truth with you, okay? Now, it could be that you're just happy to have blocks removed with this particular individual. You're grateful to be able to finally start hashing things out, talking things through. You could, in that space, go, well, I don't want to stir up another conflict or argument, so I'm going to take that truth that, you know, I really was standing on back there, and I'm just going to kind of like suppress it for right now, because I'd rather just like make up and get this person, you know, back in a place with me where it feels like, okay, you know, we're on the same team now. Okay, this feels good. And there's something here about you can't surrender that. Okay, you do need to speak a certain truth. And if you don't speak this truth, and we know it's Fragarok, the sword of truth, it's also the answerer. And that's the power of Fragarok, is when you point that sword at somebody and you ask them a question, they have to answer. That's the magic of that sword. So I do feel this is essential. You have to take this magic forward with you. The magic of your truth, that undeniable truth. You cannot abandon it. I don't care how tempting it is. Whatever this person says, whatever they're presenting or putting on the table, you're going to have to live by that truth. And if you don't, it's like you're going to stab yourself in the foot with it. And you're going to end up being held in place, unable to move forward. Because if you got a sword through your foot, you ain't going nowhere. All right. It will put a stop to you activating your destiny here. It requires that you really stand on that truth with this individual. You need to be open, okay? Open to what they have to express, but they also have to be open to your truth too. And if it's not a two-way street, this ain't gonna work. So this is something important to remember here, all right? I feel like that's an essential piece with this. Let's do a cut of the deck and see what we got here. 9 of Swords, yes, because see, there's a truth that you've withheld for too long, and you very well could be dealing with a Sagittarius. I do feel like there's a message that's about to come in here. There is a message that's about to come in here. And with Venus now in Sagittarius, this could also be a love interest finally reaching out. They're about to shoot their shot. But again, there's been a lot left unsaid in this situation. There's been a lot that put your hackles up. There's a reason why you feel defensive toward it. So you have to stay firmly in your truth, or you will sabotage this. And it says here, causes wounds to putrefy. So there's something here that's like well overdue. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be talked about, sorted through. And it's something that I do believe you'll feel a lot of anxiety around it when it comes time for this communication. We have the 9 of Swords here. You're afraid that it will start a whole, you know, another round of arguments and clashing of wills. But there is something here that you have to address because it's been left unaddressed for too long. And we have Knight of Swords there. See, this is what you don't recognize, is that once you take this action and you clear this out, you do get on the same page. And in fact, I have to say with the Knight of Swords, it's sort of like allowing the candor to come forward like that, to just lay it all out on the table. There's something very disarming about that. It's like your truth is your magic. The power of your truth, the power of your words, speaking it clearly, not holding it inside. This absolutely sabotages anything that was working against you. It says destroys and burns all enemies when requested. So there's something here that actually fosters loyalty from this person when you bring your truth forward so clearly. And from this point, you start talking about the way forward with each other. And this is beautiful, all right? I also feel like this allows them to be in integrity too, because we do have this like Jaguar medicine there. Jaguar medicine is impeccable integrity. So if you think there's a way you can fudge your way forward with this individual, this opportunity, it's not possible. Everything needs to be on the table. That's a real essential key here, right? Now we're going to look at wild card elements that you need to be aware of in this situation. Oh, yes, we got big, sexy Satan, okay? So see, this is the thing. I do feel like, you know, this person, you know, knows how to light your fire. They see the fire in your eyes and they want to play with it, and you want them to too. But you know the way that can get you in a lurch, okay? We do have the need for you to remember all that old shit that you already went through. Remember, you decided you wanted to flush that. You were ready to give that the finger. Don't let stubbornness, you know, to sort of have something gratifying in the moment, okay? Screw you again. You do need to be aware of who you're dealing with in this situation. I do feel like, you know, you got Kala on your side. And when I say Kala, I don't mean just time, but I mean Mahakala, who is the devourer of all enemies of truth. But it does require you to kind of be stubborn in sticking to your guns in sorting this out with this individual. I think you may be surprised, though, that somebody is meeting you in that place. It might shock you, okay? This is the wild card element. I feel like this person, you know, is also standing on their truth. They're tired of what went down back there as well. There's not just your side, there's their side too. And they've also had to let go of a lot of old stuff. And they got, you know, time on their side too. You know, this is somebody who can match you. I do see the crowning energy there, and it looks like their crown is protected. They know what they want. They know where they're going. And I do feel like this person is extremely stubborn as well. They could have a strong Taurus sign placement. They could also be born in the year of the ox there. I think this person is given a finger to any BS. So I do feel like you're sort of meeting your match in this regard. You may think that you can best this devil, but I feel like you see the devil within each other. You know each other's tripping points. You know each other's weak points. You know how things have been in this situation. And you are sorting through some stuff to bring about this alignment. And I do think it's necessary. You know, you might need to have a good clear out, but I feel once you do, you're both kind of giving a finger to all the stuff that kept your connection from ever fully like reaching its full potential, I think. Okay. It's like maybe it just stayed in that zone of like kind of hookup energy, or, you know, it was hot while it lasted, but just as it could be, you know, hot and spicy and sensual, it could also be really destructive on the opposite side of that. So I feel like this is a little bit of balancing that needs to happen between both of you. This person is pretty stubborn about what they want. So I do get a little bit of this piece here that they're not going to be so quick to just take no for an answer. They're also not going to suffer any of your BS. Like if you try to work them, they're not going to take it. They're going to dish it right back to you. Okay. So a little bit of an interesting dynamic. You might be surprised how stubborn this person is with, you know, wanting to work this out with you, wanting to get their point across. You may never have seen this side to this individual. So some of you do have somebody coming around that you haven't dealt with before. Now, is this person the one that you're coming into alignment with? I'm not sure. I just know that this is something you have to face off with. Now, it could be the temptation that gets you snared back in a past cycle. So only you are going to know. Remember, she feels, she knows. Only you are going to know whether you should go for another round with this or not. So that's going to be up to you to sort through here. Looks like a little bit of a challenge. I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions about this connection, especially in relation to intimacy. I see that with the filthy mattress. We also got some scavenger energy here. We got the seagulls, mine, mine, mine. We got the rats, you know, a lot of sneaky stuff going on. So if this is somebody you were romantically involved with in the past, you may have suspected that they were like stepping out with other people. You may wonder, are there other people in the mix? You may have dealt with jealousy, you know, from exes or other lovers, you know, and you don't want any of this. So I do feel like there's something that needs to be aired out here. this person may have some questions for you too, I have to say, okay? I think there's like mutual suspicion is how it's coming through. That's why I think you might be surprised how much pushback you get back from this character. That's kind of like the wild card element here. Like, just as impassioned as you feel about a situation, they feel the same. And they're going to go they're going to go toe to toe with you. Because it came out again. Look at this. The masculine and the feminine feel exactly the same. We got the uterus with feet with king shit here. You both feel the same. I see the feminine here is really wanting to exercise some kind of control here in terms of the masculine. And it might even be sexually, okay? Because they may feel like they're dealing with a masculine that, you know, likes to go out and sow their oats. They have a lot of lovers, or maybe this is a polyamorous dynamic, or this person's a serial cheater. They don't know how to be in a committed relationship, because I do see that the feminine here is like wanting to restrain that a bit, wanting to have control over that. In some cases, this could be a feminine for those of you that are dealing with a feminine ex coming around that maybe did try to control that. Maybe they did some workings to try to restrain that, okay? I have to say, it's coming in. We got the mojo bag energy here. I do feel like where that did come in is because somebody felt like they were sold this idea of a brand new love opportunity, and they felt like they got duped, like they felt like they got played, they felt like they got treated like a pawn. And so now they're in that position where they're like, oh yeah, you know, this is like the more masculine waking up in the feminine, like, I'm not putting up with this anymore. You're not going to make a fool out of me. Okay, so this is kind of the combative energy. And it's funny to me because I see with the masculine here, okay, with king shit here, with that birthing portal there, I feel like the masculine is saying, you emasculated me, you know, you humiliated me. You made a fool out of me. You made an example out of me. So this is a little bit of, it's interesting. It's kind of like gender bender stuff. It's like War of the Roses stuff. You're pitted at odds with each other because you both feel like you made a fool out of the other. Like both of your egos feel bruised in this situation. And that's why you're going to experience equal pushback. So there needs to be like some sorting out through this if you're going to get through this. But it does look like there's a certain level of determination there on both sides, I have to say. So that's the kind of wild card element there. You think it's just you that's been feeling like this, you that's been feeling like you're the one who got, you know, controlled in this situation, or used in this situation, or humiliated in this situation. They're like, oh no, I feel the same. Okay, so you have more in common in this situation than you realize, but I do feel like there's a lot of letting go that needs to happen here, a lot of BS that you need to sort through. So I mean, something tells me that you feel like this connection is worth it, though, because you're defending to the end what is worthwhile, and it looks like you're really in this process with each other, okay? What does the cut of the deck here reveal about this wild card element? Yeah, you see? The heart's been hurt here, so there's this desire to like, well, I'm going to hurt you more than you hurt me. It's like, who's going to beat the other to the punch? And this may have been a case like that, where you felt so sensitive and so exposed and so vulnerable with this person that you were afraid that this person had too much power over you. So I'm going to hurt you first before you can hurt me. Somebody operated like that in this situation. It's like a hit and run kind of situation. You know, they just breezed through, they delivered a fatal blow, and then they were on their way, right? They were on their way. And this may be somebody who does have a pattern, sort of like just passing through, you know, I'll be here for the weekend, but then I'm gone. I'll sell you the fantasy, but it's going to fall flat. And the reason they do that is because they actually have a really big heart. And it's scary for them to let somebody get close to their heart. I feel that. Yeah, you know. And with that, we got the floppy key, you know. You may have been withholding one or the other, or both of you may have like cut off, you know, a more sexual kind of hookup connection for this reason. You're like, look, I don't want to open that door if everybody's had a turn. I mean, that's how it's kind of coming through. This is like two people taking the stand for themselves because there might have been some kind of infidelity in the connection, or somebody was really non-committal. Yeah, I mean, somebody got screwed playing this game. They were playing it fast and loose because they couldn't figure out which way they wanted to go. Do I want to move forward with you, or do I want to go back where it came from? This is sort of like, you know, I'm screwed if I stay, I'm screwed if I go, and I don't know what to do. But mainly what it really comes down to is the fear of injury. And because there's so much fear of injury, you end up hurting yourself. You hurt yourself, you know? And I have to say, I'm seeing it on both sides. I got to be real here. I'm seeing it on both sides. You both are mirroring each other in this situation. And that's the wild card element that you may not be aware of. Okay, so let's see about this way forward, because it looks like you're coming together with somebody. If this is somebody new that's coming onto the scene, you're both very guarded. You both have your histories, and you've dealt with characters you weren't able to really trust. This could be because there were too many players involved in this situation, so you both have your hackles up. I think a lot of you are going to be dealing with somebody that you already have a connection to on some level. Okay, maybe you've never actually done the deal. You know, you never actually hooked up. You never connected intimately. And that's been refrained from, perhaps because there were other people in the mix here, or it's been a long time since you have. Okay, but there's some element here about both being very afraid of letting the guard down because of what's happened in the past. Oh, stress, worry, anxiety about this. Maybe also, you know, just remembering times when you were up late at night, like wondering, how come they haven't called me back? Or where are they? You know, or they just ghosted you. They never showed up. Okay, so I do feel this is part of the deal here, moving through vulnerable territory. And how do you share power? You know, it doesn't ever have to be one person holds all the power in a relationship. It should be meeting each other in that place. And I do see that's what you're drawing in with what opened up your read here, you know, the power of attraction. You're meeting up with somebody who they really meet you eye to eye. There's a sharing of power there, and that's beautiful. But I feel like there's a lot to sort through on the way there, whether you're healing a relationship with somebody, which could be coming in for a lot of you, I have to say. But there's a new understanding that you didn't have before. It's like you had to go through a separation or some falling out before something could be seen clearly. And there's also something about the mutual investment to sort through it, lets you both know it's really meaningful, it's worth something here. I also see that it could be, you know, the other way around as well, where this is somebody brand new that you're meeting, but you have a lot of similar issues, you know, that you're going to have to work through to get to this place. So let's see what this quest is for this hidden path that's going to come into view. I feel like this hidden path is you're going to hear from somebody, you're having this meeting, you know, this connecting point coming in, whether it's connecting with somebody you have been with before or somebody brand new. This is what is coming in. If it's somebody brand new that's coming in, you got a lot of questions for each other. It's like trying to establish some kind of safety and opening up to this connection because of past experiences. So let's see, what is the quest that leads Scorpio on that road to the Stone of Destiny that is going to be revealed this lunar cycle leading up to their new moon on November 1st that's being ushered in with this full moon in Aries. Basis of the matter, should I invest in it? Is it worth my investment? This is what you're going to feel out. Okay, let's get some more details about this quest. Let's see what we got here. All right. I do feel like you will take some time, okay, to sit with this. Remember, your sword of truth. You have to bring this magic forward with you. Whatever goes down here, you have to weigh it up against the truth that you have already arrived at. You can't just rest on that truth either. You have to draw the sword from its sheath and get the answers you need as well by pointing it at the other, which requires you communicate. Okay, so you have to exercise your truth in order to get the answer to your prayers. Ooh, and it's wanting to dim out again here. So what is this? There's some kind of truth that needs to be spoken here that I feel like you still want to conceal. It's hard for you to bring this truth forward. It's hard for you to speak this truth, but you're going to have to if you hope for this prayer to be answered. There's something you're praying for here. You're wanting an ending to the pain. You're wanting an end to the heartache. In some cases, you're wanting to end separation between another. There's some kind of judgment coming in here. We've got Libra energy coming in there. You could be dealing with a Libra, but this is a call coming in. And are you going to answer the call? It's up to you. I feel like a lot of you are getting a call. Okay. It's not just a calling. Certainly, you've already had a foreshadowing of that. Intuitively, you've been picking it up. You knew this call would come at some point, but this is somebody physically reaching out to touch someone. That's an old school slogan from, I think it was it Pacific Bell? I don't know. I think it was like the Yellow Pages or something. Anyway, this is somebody actually making the call. Okay, so I do feel like this is the arrival of an opportunity, okay, to enter into communication, and some could say negotiations with another here. This is another shot. This is an opportunity to revive a lost opportunity, right? Or to heal a connection. There is something here, though, that does involve dredging up a bit of the past in the process, okay? So this is either a past connection, or when you come into contact with this individual, it stirs up both of your past stuff here. Could be a Libra involved in this situation, but I do feel like it's time to act on your truth. So whatever this is, you can't hold it in any longer. You've been resting on it, but you haven't been doing anything with it. Give me any more insight you can about this truth that needs to be spoken. It's central to your quest moving forward. You have to live by the sword. You have to live by that sword of truth. And if you don't, you may as well just stab it through your foot, because you're going to be held in place and you're always going to be waiting. You have to be brave enough to live by your truth too. You need to be brave enough to show up in your life and represent that truth. So there might be part of that coming in here too, where it's like, am I really going to stand up and represent this in a public way? Okay, so this could be something that even involves a community of people seeing you, connecting with this person. There might be a factor coming in there. Let me do a cut of the deck on that and see what we got. Yeah, this is something coming together, and certainly this is 10th house activity. So I do feel like there's something very visible about this. There's something that will have to be fully represented. You'll have to step into it and represent it. And so there might be some apprehension around that. But it is the judgment, all right? And it is your destiny. And it is time to activate this. And whoever this character is, you're going to be building something together. It's part of what you're here to do. But you got to stop resting on your truth, man. It's coming through so loud and clear for you. Okay, so let's see what your nemesis is. I know there's something you've been praying for here. You've been hoping for a miracle in this situation. You've been hoping that something could turn around, but it seems like it's kind of against all odds. But I see that it is possible, but you have to, speak a truth. You also have to represent it. So something can't remain hidden here anymore. That's what I got, okay? You have to fully show up and represent this in real time, not just in your fantasies, right? So the nemesis here, tradition. all the shoulds, what you think you should do, what's appropriate, how is it going to look. Strong Taurus energy here. For some of you, you are really already in a position where you're committed elsewhere, all right? And if that's the case, and you feel drawn in another direction, you're going to have to make a choice. Are you going to stay or are you going to go? We have two keys here, two needing freedom, right? So in some cases, if you've decided you're going to stay where you're at, maybe you need to let somebody else know that you were considering as an option as well. This just coming in, or they need to offer you that, right? You could be a Taurus rising. This could be coming in very strongly for you. Or if you have any strong Taurus placements in your chart, Scorpio is the descendant sign of Taurus. So that's possible. I could also see, because I did see that energy of, somebody playing it fast and loose in the connection, or there's suspicion of that. So there might be a case where one of you really wants more of a committed kind of a relationship, one-on-one. You want to go deep with one person. The other is more prone to kind of playing it fast and loose. They don't want a commitment. They want an open relationship. So there might be something here that is an uncomfortable truth, just recognizing like we want different things, okay? There might be something you need to iron out here. I also feel like where you're partnering with somebody on another level, where it's not about a relationship, okay? But really, for most of you, this looks like a romantic relationship. This looks like a soulmate energy coming in here, and it's been complicated for most of you, or it will be complicated because of each of your relationship histories if you're meeting somebody new. But for others of you, okay, this could be coming in such a way where you're ready to go rogue. Maybe you've worked for a corporation for a long time. You've been, put in a certain role for long enough. You have a new idea. It's a brilliant idea. You feel lit up creatively. There's somebody else coming in here. They want to invest in this. They have the ability to help you get traction with this on a business level, gain a lot of ground, get a lot of progress, expand your network here. They are the key that activates your dream, okay, with this partnership energy, this collaborative energy. But in order for you to head in this direction, the inconvenient truth is you got to get yourself out of a contract before you're free to pursue this and open up this door of opportunity. All right. So I do feel like there's something that is standing in the way here that kind of makes it difficult to move forward. Either somebody's already in a committed relationship, or somebody really wants a commitment and the other doesn't. The other wants more open arrangement. Or if this is work related, there's a contract that needs to be dissolved in order to be able to partner with somebody else and take advantage of this opportunity. More clues about what this nemesis is on Scorpio's path, please. More clues about what this nemesis is on Scorpio's path moving forward on this hidden path that will be presented by Spirit. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, it's the unknown element. And remember, it's also what you keep secret, okay? This will work against you, remember? You cannot rest on your truth. Even if it's uncomfortable, it needs to come forward here. There's no way that you can sort of like, let's just sweep it under the rug and let's just go with the moment. Let's go with the flow here because it feels good, No. High Priestess, this is matters that have been hidden, things that have been secret. So again, it's reiterating the truth needs to come up and out. All right. You can't keep the truth hidden. And if this is a romantic connection and the reason why it's been hidden is because somebody's been in a relationship, at some point you have to question, okay, well, if I'm not really willing to show up and fully represent this, or the person I've been with on the side is not ready to fully show up and represent this, then there's a certain truth there that I need to acknowledge. or maybe I've been spinning a little fantasy around this because I haven't wanted to look it squarely in the eyes and really see what's actually going down here. So there's very strong indications of whatever this is, this coming together here. You have to fully show up and represent it. It cannot be clandestine. It cannot be hidden. There can't be secrecy around it. Like, there is a need to live by that truth, right? So I do feel like any desire to keep things cloaked or hidden or not come up and out with it, this will really work against you. Right? And you also have to trust your intuition. Don't ignore your intuition. If you feel like somebody is keeping something hidden and it's nagging at you, but you don't want to bring it up because you're afraid of stirring up drama, well, that's going to work against you because something needs to be made crystal clear here, okay? Yeah, I'm sorry. But maybe you've dealt with a lot of pushback in situations in the past, or if this is somebody coming back around again with this individual where you feel like you got to be at the ready, because if you open this up, they're going to start arguing with you. It's going to stir up drama, and you feel like, but we're finally just getting on the same page. Or if you have to go and approach, somebody you've been working with about a contract and dissolving that, maybe you're afraid, that there's going to be legal trouble coming at you. But this is you at the ready, like just prepared, like, I'm going to have to defend myself because I know I'm in for a fight here. But there's something here about it's the truth that sets you free. You're eliminating the solution from the problem. You know what I mean? It's like you should be eliminating the problem. It should be the other way around. The solution is fully representing the truth. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 on the clock. Okay? That's what time it is. If you want this alignment with the path that Spirit has planned for you and you want to activate it, you have to activate your truth. You have to activate frag rock. You need to pull it from its sheath. You need to speak your truth, and you need to point it at the other, because once you share your truth, they will have no ability to not reveal theirs. That's the magic of frag rock, okay? The truth is that powerful, and it sets both of you free. So no more secrets, okay? The secrets need to be done with in this situation. There's been too much ambiguity in this situation, or if it's with somebody new, this is just like the way you're used to operating, You're used to keeping some things concealed because I don't want to let you two in, because if I let you two in, then, you might take advantage of me. There's too much defensiveness here, right? Keeping communication clear, open, up front is what will be in your best interest in this situation. Secrets, clandestine arrangements, things that are concealed, the cover will be blown. It will be messy. It will work against you. You're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot if you go down that road. That's what's coming through. You're really strong. Okay, what is the spirit ally for Scorpio moving forward here? What is the spirit ally? Right. Yeah, you need to continue to stay in that place you've been in of reflecting on your emotions, reflecting on where you're at now, cleansing away the hurts, the pains of the past, doing your healing work, balancing things out, and preparing to really step into the activation of your destiny. So I feel like there's also this piece here of you've done a lot of reflection. It's now time to really put it in motion, because you do have fortune's favor on your side. You're ready to activate the dream. You've done enough reflecting. You've done a lot of cleansing here. You've been releasing. You've been finding your balance. Okay, now it's time to move into the expansion of activating your destiny. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. You could also be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer, with that high priestess there, especially in relation to the secrets. You could have an Aquarius coming in as an ally. All right. For your ally, look at the Wow. Okay, so two are getting their freedom here. All right. It looks like a big yes. Judgment in your favor. So it's just reiterating this. As soon as you speak that truth, there's this resurgence in your life. It's like a renewal energy. Everything springs back to life again. You get your freedom. There's freedom here for two. And with the Hierophant coming in with judgment, this is a firm yes. So everything is on your side. It's the activation of that star that you wished upon. This is the activation point of your destiny. But you have to have the bravery to act on your truth and stand up and represent it. Because only you can rise to the challenge. I'm not saying there won't be challenges getting there, but you're meant to get there. And you got the support of spirit. And these are your keys. You both have the keys, but you each have to activate it by actually using that key to open the door of opportunity. Again, we got Libra energy coming in and Taurus energy coming in here strongly, right? Pretty wild, okay? And this certainly could have been a third party situation in the past because I do see this really highlighted here, right? But it looks like there's two that are moving forward here. There's two keys, there's not three. So there may be one that's left behind in the shadows in this situation. And I feel that's the past path that's falling away. That was very indicative of the opening of your read here, okay? What is the lay of the land for Scorpio moving forward here? As they're heading on up to that stone of destiny, because I know there's going to be some challenges you're presented with. Yep, see? There's only room for two on the path ahead. So the lay of the land is there's something that does need to be released with the Three of Cups in reverse coming out there, bottom of the deck. This is what the worry and the stress is over. Somebody here is very concerned about making the right choice on what to leave behind. They feel a little bit conflicted about this. They're uncertain which path they should choose. In some cases, with the way it came out, it could be trying to choose between a Libra and trying to choose between a Taurus. It's possible, or there could be a Taurus and Libra involved in this situation, and knowing that one has to go, both can't come forward. It's interesting. And this may be something that's been weighed up for a long time, but I do see that one needs to go here. There's room for two on the road forward. It's a partnership, right? And I think it's a decision that weighs heavily. It weighs heavily here. Okay, give me some more clues about this lay of the land for Scorpio moving forward here. And I'm calling out the signs. It doesn't have to be any of these signs, right? And do remember, we have all of the signs, houses in our charts, so we all feel the influence of these signs at one time or another. But I do like to call it out because I know you all appreciate it, okay? Let's see. What is the lay of the land? Give me more details about this. Yeah. There's already an awareness of this. Like something's not in alignment. It's being released here. There is one couple that is going back into the archives of the past, and there's a lot of fear around this. Like, how is this going to be received? Like, somebody is ready for a fight. They're prepared for this to be a problem, you know, as they release something to step forward into this other connection. Right? So I think you're anticipating this. You know something needs to go. And what's going here could have been something that, you know, you put a lot of time, energy into. There was a lot that you invested here. So you know that it's going to be kind of heavy as you bring this cycle to a close and allow this new opportunity in. All right, let's see. What is the beef? What is the meat of the matter for Scorpio here? Some of you may be making a move. You could be moving to a new home, right? You might be experiencing some fights at home, some fallout at home. If you're married, currently or in a serious committed relationship. This could be the dissolving of that relationship to head in a new direction, or whoever you're going to be dealing with is in this process right now. Okay, so I see a lot of like self-protection here, preparing for a fight. That's what I got. I mean, you may already be suspecting there's going to be a little bit of trouble up ahead here. It may be a difficult situation that you're navigating. There might be a reason why you've hidden that truth for a while. You might know that it's going to invite in some fallout, some arguments, some conflict. Okay, let's see what the beef is here. We got a King of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I don't think this character is too happy here. We got fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could be somebody who definitely wants to put this on pause. They might be trying to control this situation too much. This could be somebody that you view as selfish, domineering. This could be somebody who is highly independent, like so independent, forget about it. Like if you expect this person to show up and be on the same page as you and build with you, like, no, this person's out for, out for themselves at this time. This is somebody who's like very much in their me era, but in the reverse, like to excess, okay? This person's not really considering your needs at this time, or this is what you're aware of with this person. This is what you're used to with this person, okay? Because this was the basis of the matter coming in reverse there, right? I think this is who you might have some issues with, okay? This is who's at the heart of this matter, this fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or somebody who's just extremely independent. This is like, don't fence me in, don't tie me down. I won't be told what to do. I'm going to do what I want. And this could even be somebody who, could have stepped out on a relationship as well, just because they wanted what they wanted, They were thinking what they want. They weren't thinking of the consequences of that. Yeah, this is somebody who's extremely impetuous. And I do feel like there's this energy rushing in here. And they got something to say, okay? So this person might be a bit argumentative. I also feel like this person has some strong feelings involved here too. Sometimes the Nine of Swords can come in as a declaration of love. And I do feel like this character has been problematic in the past or all about themselves. I mean, I don't think they want to see you going in another direction here. They might be trying to make up for lost time. This person may be coming in to sort of like state their case. They may even be saying some things to you that you're kind of surprised about. Let me get a cut of the deck here. They've been keeping an eye on you. You may not be aware of this, but they do have some strategy that they're enacting here moving forward, okay? This person has a plan, and they're going to set this plan in motion. And where they weren't really ready to commit before or represent this, I do feel like they are ready to now with the King of Pentacles. Okay? So this could be like a declaration of love coming forward. But I think the beef, the meat of the matter is you've heard this all before. All right? And you're a little bit confused or thrown off by this. It's like, I don't know if I can trust this. I feel aligned with this person, but this person also confuses me. One day they feel this, the next day they feel that. They never like make a firm commitment. It's always this back and forth. I feel like we're meant to be together, but we just can't pull it together. It's like two ships passing in the night. Okay. In a work situation, because it did come in for some of you, this is, knowing that you're dissolving a partnership, some kind of business partnership, and there's a little pushback in regard to that. You've been making some moves kind of like on the down low. You've been exploring other opportunities. I do feel like this is an investor. This is a partner coming in here. They want to move this thing forward. And you may be dealing with some pushback in dissolving a contract with the old person you were partnering with. They may even threaten to take like some kind of legal action, or they might just, get into a bit of a war of words with you here. Like they feel like it's a little bit of an underhanded move, the way you're securing this new opportunity. So do expect that in the business arena here. But as I said, I feel like for most of you, this is coming through in a relationship. Yeah, you feel really confused. You don't know if you should trust this person. Yeah, it involves a choice. It's a big choice for you here. You could be dealing with a Gemini as well. All right, there is something here that needs to be weighed up at the crossroads. It's a big choice, and you're really sitting with it, and you're thinking about it, and you're trying to lean into what you feel. I also feel like you're trying to keep your emotions contained before you speak this truth. That is your energy coming in on the bottom of the deck, okay? So a lot to sort out there. I think you feel a lot, but you don't want to get emotionally caught up because I think that sabotaged you in the past, right? So let's see, what are the consequences you'll have to deal with as a result of your past actions in this scenario, Scorpio? What are the consequences you're going to have to deal with as a result of your past actions in this scenario, Scorpio? What are the consequences you're going to have to deal with as a result of your past actions, Scorpio? Well, that's your energy right there, okay? So I do see this has something to do with matters of the heart, or who is the person that is the object of your affection here. And I see that, you know, what's kind of like done you in the past is you've tried to stay too much in your safe space here. That's what created the endings. There wasn't enough vulnerability here. You didn't take a risk. There wasn't a full like representing this in reality. There was something that was concealed here. Emotions were concealed here. Intentions were concealed here. Somebody was too concerned with their like security. They wanted to stay in their comfort zone here. And ultimately, that's what brought about a painful ending in this situation. So now you're faced with this same challenge again. You know, here's an option. The road is opening up to you. You got the whole world in your hands. You know, you can make it whatever you want. You can create it how you want to see it. Or it can be another case of as the world turns and you can jump into another soap opera. But what really is required here is if you want this new beginning, you got to be vulnerable. You got to step into it. You got to represent it. And whoever you're dealing with here, they need to be able to meet you in that place too. And if they can't, you know, something needs to change here. Give me some more details about this. What are the consequences that Scorpio needs to deal with as a result of the past actions in this situation, Spirit? What are the consequences that Scorpio needs to deal with as a result of their past actions in this situation, Spirit? What are the consequences Scorpio needs to deal with as a result of their past actions in this situation, Spirit? And a whole bunch came out there. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, again, it's reiterating the power's in your hands. But I see that in the past, you didn't act on your truth. You had your truth, but you withheld it, right? With the Queen of Swords in reverse. And this is what caused things to fall out. There was no working together here. How can something work, or how can you expect truth from another if you're not willing to fully stand up and represent your truth, right? And in some cases, instead of fully representing this and speaking your truth and actually coming together with this person, whether this is in a romantic capacity or working together on something, you chose instead to kind of sneak around and do it, all right? Do it on the fly. Trying to like have your cake and eat it too. Well, I'm going to just, you know, keep a foot in this door so I can still have it open, but I'm not willing to let go of what I have over here. And so that's sort of like playing both sides of the fence. You feel like it kept you stuck and in this place of suffering, you know, and you felt a lot of pain in this situation, and you may have tried to cast that blame on the other. But isn't this interesting? Both the masculine and the feminine in this situation are in reverse. And we know it's your job to represent your truth. And when we get the Queen of Swords in reverse here, this is not representing the truth. Okay, so just as much as you think that person was being selfish and all about them, they could say the same of you. I feel that, okay? And in some cases, rather than ending a connection, you chose to keep a committed connection going while you sort of like went around and had a lover on the side. I see two people here that have both been guilty of the same thing they accused the other of. And how was that ever going to work? There's nothing that can be worked out there. And that wants to dim out there because there's somebody that doesn't want to acknowledge that truth in this situation. The similarities between you two. The way both of you can play both sides when it serves you. And this is about looking at a new way to move forward here, right? Clean slate. So I'm also kind of picking up the vibe of you can weigh this out, like who's at fault forever. And both of you have valid points, or you can kind of clear the decks and start brand new. And I feel like where you're in any kind of negotiation, romantically, on a business level, there needs to be a little bit of concession on your side as well for how you blew it back there or where you could have handled something better. That's the only way there's going to be an equitable solution in this situation. And there's no more holding the truth in. Like the truth is going to come out. So where there has been some kind of clandestine business arrangement or there's been a clandestine romantic relationship, I also feel like this is being revealed, okay? This is coming up and out. And there's no avoiding this. Like you got to own it. You got to own it. You got to represent it. It's like you found it, you know, a good time at the time, if that's the case. If you did have sort of like a secret love thing going on, but you're going to have to represent it too. You know, there's a piece of that that is necessary in this situation in order for things to be balanced out. You could be dealing with an air sign energy in this situation. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We had both Gemini and Libra come in pretty strongly. Fire sign energy coming in here too. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. All right. Okay. Let's see. What is the power gained through self-mastery in this situation? So we know the power is in you speaking your truth, showing up, representing it. That is the activation of your power. So let's see how you rise up as a result of that. What is the power to be gained by Scorpio through self-mastery in this situation? What is the power to be gained by Scorpio through self-mastery in this situation? What is the power to be gained by Scorpio through self-mastery in this situation? You get to set yourself free. Instead of staying here feeling like you're trapped and like you have no options and you don't know what to do and you kind of blame it on moves other people made or, well, if they wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't be in this position. This is recognizing that the only thing that's been holding you back is yourself. And your need to stay in the safe space of not fully representing what you want to step into here. Not speaking that truth, not making that final cut, not closing the door on what you know isn't for you so you can step into the arrangement that is for you, okay? You get to set yourself free. It's time to get out of your head and put this into action, right? That's how you're going to master this situation. Let's see what power is to be gained if you do this, Scorpio. What power is to be gained by Scorpio if they do this? What power is to be gained by Scorpio if they do this? What power is to be gained by Scorpio if they take the risk to do this, Spirit? To finally take that action, to speak their truth, to lay it all on the line. Whoo, look at that. The power is put in your hands. And it can happen as soon as you want it to. Ace of Wands, this is a fall timing card. So you have the ability to step into this right now. If you take the action, it will produce a big result, okay? The power is put back in your hands. You no longer feel like you're a victim of circumstance. This will create a major change in your life, and you will be grateful that you took this action, right? Brand new beginning for you, but it does require you to take the action, all right? You won't regret it. It's the birth of a new beginning. There will be a lot of growth that comes from this for you, and it is absolutely the right action to take. Let me do a cut the deck there and see what we got. Yeah. But you have to take the risk. And this is what you're weighing up right now. You have to take the risk. Are you going to actually face what you need to face dead on, what you know is true, what you already feel you need to do? It's up to you, okay? It's all about you taking that step, though. Then the power is put in your hands, and all that growth you want to see, the new beginning you're wanting to see in your life, oh, man, it takes off. It takes off, but it's up to you. It's your choice, okay? Let's see, what's at stake for Scorpio and those coming forward on this new path with them? What's at stake for Scorpio and those coming forward with them on this path, Spirit? What's at stake for Scorpio and those coming forward with them on this path being presented by this Aries full moon? Look at that. Completion of the old cycle, successfully stepping into the next chapter in your life that does bring so much growth, so much prosperity, so much upliftment. This is successful completion of the old cycle, and there's a big win here for you. It's a personal victory, rising up over the challenges of the past, having this brand new beginning, the road opening up for you and another, because there's somebody you're partnering with here. You could be closing the cycle with any of the fixed signs, Leo, Taurus. Your energy's there. We know it's very personal for you. We also have Aquarius there, okay? These energies have presented in your reading, so let's see what's at stake here, okay? So there's some kind of successful completion happening here. I like this. It does look like you're finally making the choice. You see, you're leaving the third option behind, and you're ready to step into that future. You already got your sights set, and this is going to be coming in for you. Bottom of the deck, look at that, the Fool. So the road is opening here. I love it. And you're traveling light, moving forward. You feel your optimism returning. You feel enthusiasm about where you're going and who you're going there with. I like it, okay? Some of you may be going on a trip too, and this is something that is about activating your destiny, that North Node. You could also be dealing with an Aries or an Aquarius in this situation. You could also be dealing with a Leo rising, okay, because they are an Aquarius descendant. You'd be dealing with a Libra rising as well, okay? They are an Aries descendant. Okay, so this looks really good. I do feel like you're not taking baggage forward with you. So that's really important if you hope to move forward with this individual into this partnership. You can't take any baggage from the old cycle behind you. So while I feel like you guys might need to have a big clear out, or there might be some conflict first in really representing this truth and coming up and out with it and clearing the air, once you step forward, you got to leave all that behind. Okay, if you hope to have this brand new beginning. So that is really, really key for you. But it looks like what you've been hoping for is coming into view here for you and, you know, those who are important to you. And I see that there has been separation, but where there's been separation, you're now on the other side of it. And there's renewal. We got an Ace of Cups here. And it's because you chose to be true to yourself. You chose to trust your intuition. You poured into yourself. You expressed your emotions. So we see the lid is off that cup here. That's good. I'm glad you're coming up and out with it. It's going to be the clue and the key that's needed, that's going to absolutely clue you into where you're going now with this person. But I feel like there's a lot of like cleansing communication here that gets all of that hurt out of the way, and it allows you to see where you're at now with each other and what the possibilities are for your future. So I do feel like there's a big release here, and that's good, okay? Good energy there. Good energy there. I think you both are going to release a lot here, whoever you're talking to. And even if it's somebody new, I think, you're both going to create a space, with each other where you can openly and honestly express your feelings. And I think it's a very healing connection, whatever this is. If you're getting together on a partnership level and you're creating something together, what you're creating here, it's a very cathartic process. There might be a creative angle to it, and it might be something that brings a lot of healing to other people too, or expresses something that's normally hard to put in words, or delivers a message that's normally difficult to get across. But once your synergy, the synergy of your energy, it creates something that's going to touch a lot of hearts. I think it's something very healing for many people, whatever this is. Okay. What's at stake for this new world you're bringing into being, Scorpio? What's at stake for this new world you're bringing into being? What's at stake for this new world that you're bringing into being, Scorpio? The truth. The truth. That's what's at stake. The truth. King of Swords in reverse. Also, you need to make a decision. You're either going to act on this or you're not. You're either going to live by your truth or you're not. I feel like you're sort of being forced at this time. Like you're either going to live by your truth or you're not. There's no way to sort of like play both sides of the fence anymore. It's time to make a decision and you need to stick with it. And whatever you choose, it's going to have lasting consequences here. Again, you could be dealing with an air sign. We had strong Libra, we had strong Aquarius come out here, and Gemini. All the air signs actually came out represented quite strongly with the major arcanas. So you could be dealing with any air sign in this situation. But I feel like it's time. It's time for a truth to be spoken. It's time to stand up and represent it. You can't keep something hidden anymore. This needs to be made very, very clear. Your future depends on it. All right, more details about what's at stake for this new world that Scorpio wants to step into, which is the activation of your North Node, your destiny. So what's at stake? What's at stake for Scorpio's destiny? We know the truth is like so crystal clear here. And you need to make that choice to speak your truth and open up this communication, and also to ask for the answers you need from another, okay? This is really, really important. Some of you have already started this process. Just know it's an ongoing process. It happens in layers, but this is what's needed, okay? This healing and the activation of your North Node, this is what's needed. And you have to recognize, too, there's more than just you held up here at Crossroads. I'm feeling that very strongly. There's other people involved in this situation, and they're on the periphery, and a lot is hinging on this. So it's time for everybody to sort of align with their North Stars here, align with the path they belong on. And something has been really holding this up, not just for you, but for so many people. And it all revolves around a certain truth being fully represented here. So truth is the transforming factor in this situation. And there's no way to get around this. There needs to be cleansing communication. It's what creates healing. I feel like there's been enough reflecting on your truth. It's time to open up into more dynamic communication where you also receive the truth of others here and you start to work through this. But it looks really good. The outcome is very positive and it brings some type of fulfillment, something that you've long desired, something you've wished on a star about, something that you've held close to your heart, something you've hoped for and reflected on in your quiet time. It does make it manifest, but you're not going to be able to do it without representing it. And that's just the way it is. So you get to choose. Are you going to rise up, or are you going to stay here and continue to reflect on the past and what could have been, right? Or are you actually going to choose to see what it can be by being brave enough to step into it and representing it? That's what's at stake here. Your destiny is at stake. It's no little matter. All right, let's give you some encouragement here. What's the cookie? What's the cookie? What is the sweet reward if Scorpio just, does the damn thing already, okay? What is the sweet reward for Scorpio? What is the cookie? What is the cookie for Scorpio if they are brave and they step into this spirit? That new beginning you want. You see? It's like spirit's just waiting to fill you with that new beginning that you've been hoping for. All you need to do is take the risk to open yourself up to it. I like that. An Ace of Cups is a pretty nice cookie. Your cup will be filled, okay? So where you've been feeling like you've been doing without, maybe you've been feeling like you've been spilling a lot of your energy out. You've been pouring into others and nothing's poured into you. As soon as you take this action, it all comes flooding in for you. You gotta remove the blocks though. You have to divide your love here, Scorpio. You got to open your heart. You got to stop stalling here. This has already been resolved. Oh, I like that. See, now the King of Swords is upright. Yes. Stop blocking this communication. Stop blocking the truth. Be willing to face it. It's what will make your decision clear. It's interesting. It's like you've been gnawing on this too long, and withholding the communication is actually the thing that's keeping you stuck. As soon as you open up the communication, the decision becomes abundantly clear. Again, could be dealing with an air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Cut of the deck here about this cookie. Look at that. And there's your 10 of Pentacles. There's the fulfillment and the balancing out that you were looking for. And look, now you got 2 cups and they're pouring into each other. So you definitely could be dealing with a Sagittarius here, but something is being healed. Something is being transformed. It's a powerful connection, but you got to take the risk, man. You're not going to be able to stay in your safe place and get an outcome like that. There's just no way around it. It's time to be brave. All right, what should the target be for Scorpio during this lunar cycle? It's kicked off by this full moon, Hunter's moon in Aries. Will culminate with their new moon on November 1st. What should the target be for Scorpio at this time? What should be the target of Scorpio's campaign for stepping into the destiny of their North Node? What should be Scorpio's target? I mean, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the truth. I mean, you have yet to close the old cycle, okay? So this is your target. It's time to wrap it up, all right? Whatever you need to do to settle things in the past and to create closure there, it's time to do it. Until you do this, you can't open your road, right? Again, you could be dealing with, a Leo. It's definitely a past matter. Something's been put on pause for too long. It's time for it to be addressed. People are being too stubborn, fixed in this situation. There's multiple people involved. It's not just about you. Okay. So there's something here that really does need to be dealt with. It's a very important cycle for you personally. And you could be dealing with another Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Taurus, an Aquarius, a Leo in this situation. But this has been left on red for too long. That's what I just heard. Left on red for too long. So maybe you've been refraining from responding to somebody for too long. You need to respond to them. It's time, okay? Make sure you get that done during this lunar cycle so you don't miss that gateway of initiation that comes in with your new moon, all right? Yeah. Again, you've been sort of like playing both ends to the middle for too long here with the 6 of Pentacles. And both are being left hanging in the balance. These 2 options, these can be 2 different people. This could be, 2 different opportunities. And, in some respect, it's put you in a false position of power. And that's not balanced. So there does need to be a choice that's made here. And it revolves around you representing what's true for you. And it's interesting, okay? So we got a message coming in here. We got an offer that's being presented to you. Spirit's presenting you this opportunity to feel fulfillment. And there is a message coming in here. It looks like fire sign energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I mean, they factor strongly in your read. There's an opportunity for you to open up this communication, but there's a stubbornness here. I see you really looking at like you want it all your way in this situation. You know, there's something about wanting your cake and to eat it too. Or there's something about the offer that's being presented. It doesn't meet your expectations. But Spirit's kind of letting you know, like, you're not seeing all the details here. And part of what is holding you back is not making a decision, not executing a truth. Once you do, it changes the dynamic of what's being presented here. Okay, I see that. Give me more details about this. It's something that Spirit's presenting you, but you're refusing it. You're not open to it because you're still too bent on trying to get your way in a situation. It's not going to work out like that. You need a broader perspective in this situation, Scorpio. Give me more details about this for Scorpio. What is this new opportunity? It looks like it's being presented through some kind of word coming in through a fire sign. But you got a little bit of this sort of like stubborn energy here. You're very guarded. And you need to move through this. Yeah, I mean, we got the Tower here coming in with the Six of Cups. I mean, there's been something very disruptive that's happened here, and you're still smarting about this a little bit. But if you hope to get to the other side of that, you might be blown away to realize that there's something that is going to come out of this. It's quite beautiful. And this is like coming into alignment with that power of attraction. What you want wants you. It's that thing that's been propelling you forward, okay? But you've been too stuck in the past to even recognize it. And the truth, you know, the truth is coming, whether you choose to deliver it or whether it takes you by surprise, because sometimes if you don't fully stand up and represent your truth, somebody will, you know, just assume that you're not in, that you don't want this, and they'll make their own choices, and then you might find that that power is being taken out of your hands. So this is really important here. This truth that you have to deliver, it may cause some disruption. Again, we got Aries energy coming in there, your energy coming in very strongly, Aquarius energy coming in here. This truth that you deliver, it may feel a little rebellious. It might feel like, you know, it's bringing a lot of upheaval your way to fully represent this. But by you standing up for this, you come into alignment with a new beginning, with somebody you're meant to have, you know, a fresh start with here. And it could be somebody that you have dealt with before. Or it could be somebody that you feel like you've always known, even though it's your first time meeting them in this life. There's soul recognition here. But you got to ask yourself, are you ready to step up into that? Okay. You don't get to be the Empress until you have transformed that South Node energy of Libra down there. Okay. So are you ready? Are you ready to own your part? Are you ready to heal? Are you ready to show up, fully represent this, have this abundance, have this prosperity, have all this growth, and really show that you've grown by being very embodied in your truth, having no fear of letting down the guards, because you know that that truth is your protection. You know? It's the secret seas. It's the things that we hide that weaken us and have power over us. But when you live your life out loud, when you're not afraid to represent what you believe in, who you are, when you show up like that in the world, oh, everything prospers. So I do feel like both in love and in business and your material reality. There is so much growth here. It's ready for you to step into it. But it does require you delivering a final blow to what has been false. And there's no way to kind of evade representing this. There's something about really showing up and representing this. It's something that's going to be acknowledged by a broader group of people than just you and this other, right? So I think that's why there's a little bit of apprehension around it. There may be even a little like concern about judgment around this, but this is what's being put on the table. It's up to you to be brave, Scorpio. And what do we got here? Look at it. If you do, though, you'll find nothing but success on the other side. And again, comes in again, that new beginning. Take the cup. It's everything you need to quench that never-ending thirst of yours.